Hey, welcome back to another anime review. Last time we talked about something very depressing, so today we're going to do the opposite. We're going to take a look at something very fun. A very famous, beloved anime series and really franchise from the 80s and 90s. I'm talking about Dirty Pair. This is a series I was always aware of, but I never actually watched it until last year, and I've been watching it ever since. I just finished up all the OVAs as well as the movie, and I've got some things to talk about. If you haven't seen this, then it's definitely something to check out, especially the original series, but we'll get into all that. I'll just start out with a stupid story, first of all. When I was a kid, I used to look at anime online, kind of lists of anime and stuff. You couldn't really watch everything online like you can today, so I was more like browsing to see what was out there, what might I spend my hard-earned, not even earned, what might I spend my allowance on, because anime was expensive and rare, and sometimes you could rent something at Blockbuster, but it wasn't that easy to get your hands on anime. And I've talked about this too many times already, but I was browsing anime and I would always come across Dirty Pair. It was always out there, and I remember just seeing the title Dirty Pair and seeing kind of the cover art or something, these two kind of scantily clad women, and I'm just like, this must be a dirty anime. What kind of dirty pair is this? I guess I'm not watching this. I'm gonna move on. But I'm happy to say that I was wrong about my preconceptions there. It's not a dirty anime. The original series, at least, is pretty wholesome for the most part. They're not called the Dirty Pair for the reasons you might expect, or for the reasons I expected back then. So it follows our two protagonists, Kei and Yuri, known as the Dirty Pair. They hate that name though. They call themselves the Lovely Angels. They're a couple of trouble consultants. They work for this agency called the 3WA. They're basically like these super elite agents. They're always kind of solving mysteries, tracking down criminals, and arresting or killing the bad guys. And it takes place in the future. It's a sci-fi setting. They have their own spaceship, which changes in every iteration of the show. The original one is this pink spaceship, which I really like, but then every OVA or movie that comes out has a different spaceship design. It's kind of weird. They have this giant cat named Mugi, who looks more like a bear than a cat. And in the original light novels that this was based on, it looks like this fierce panther or something, but in the anime it's this fluffy, cuddly looking, pretty cute cat that, like I say, it's like a bear. It's huge. And it's very intelligent. It can help out on missions sometimes. Sometimes it uses its brute force to, tackle bad guys. Or other times it can, operate the ship and stuff. It's crazy. They also have a little robot named Nanmo. It can help out in various kind of mechanical or electronic technical tasks as well. But Kei and Yuri are really the heart of the show, the heart of the series. They really are very lovable. Kei is sort of this tomboy. She's kind of this, hot-tempered one, and then Yuri, on the other hand, she's more obsessed with being feminine, and she takes great pride in her femininity. But they both can kick some serious butt. They got guns, they got crazy weapons. Yuri has a electro whip or something she uses. She has these playing card looking things that she can throw at bad guys as well. And Kei usually sticks to her guns. They're skilled at hand-to-hand combat as well, and just very intelligent. They're very good at solving these cases. But at the same time, you get a lot of these glimpses into just, they're young women and they are tired of working all the time. They just want to enjoy life sometimes and be lazy, and they want to have relationships and just have a good time sometimes, and work is always getting in the way. You see that struggle. You see their human struggles and desires, and how that can clash with their obligations in this very important job that they have. It's a lot of fun. It is a very fun series. I'm getting ahead of myself. Why are they called the Dirty Pair? Well, like I say, they call themselves the Lovely Angels, but everybody else calls them the Dirty Pair because despite the fact that they always get the job done, they're very accountable, a trail of destruction tends to follow them everywhere they go. It seems like they always leave a path of chaos and destruction behind them, and it's usually not really their fault. Sometimes it kind of is, but they get off the hook anyways. A lot of times entire cities are destroyed, I think an entire planet gets destroyed once or twice. It's nuts. It is sad if you think about it, but pretty hilarious in this show. Overall, it's a pretty wholesome series, I would say. After that original series, it gets more fan servicey. Somehow their outfits become even smaller, and to be honest, I wish they would have kept their original uniforms. It just, whether you like it or not, either way, it's a distraction. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a distraction. I think they went a little overboard. It's a little bit too much. Not necessary. I always thought this was a super popular series, and over the years it still has many fans today. And it got a movie, theatrical movie, it got 2 OVA movies, an OVA series, and then kind of a prequel, alternate telling, spin-off series, whatever you want to call it. It even got a video game on the Famicom back in the day. A very popular series, but somehow it was cancelled during the first season. The original series got cancelled before the last 2 episodes could ever air, and that makes no sense to me. Supposedly the ratings were too low for TV, but it was popular enough to have a movie and all these OVAs and everything and a video game after the fact. I don't get it. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but hey, I mean, I guess we see that kind of thing sometimes. Family Guy got canceled and brought back and became more popular than ever. We saw Firefly get canceled, and later it got Serenity, the movie, to tie it all up, and it maintained a huge fan base afterwards. So that kind of thing's not unheard of, but it's very interesting, and I'm glad it did get so many reiterations and more pieces of content over the years. The original series is great. It's a lot of fun. It's very episodic in nature. Each episode is its own self-contained story. It's the Dirty Pair taking on some kind of new case, solving a mystery, tracking down criminals, whatever it may be. It's usually always a self-contained story, and so it's great to, maybe not binge watch it all at once, but to watch it here and there sporadically over time. You're not going to forget what's going on. You're not going to miss out on anything. It's always just kind of fun, and I would say even comforting to come back to after a while. It's something that you don't need to think about a lot. It's one of those shows I could see, watching on TV on a weekly basis, and if you missed a week, you'll be okay. And I feel like it's a series that would be fun to watch again and again over time, just as you might watch reruns of your favorite shows on TV now and then. The original series goes on for 26 episodes, and if you enjoyed that, then you'll probably enjoy the OVA series as well. It gives us another 10 episodes, and it's very similar in nature to the original series. It just feels like a natural continuation. It's just more Dirty Pair, it's more episodic content, they go on more fun missions, and yeah, more of the same, except their change of wardrobe there is a little distracting, but there's that. Then you have the theatrical movie Project Eden, which to me was just okay. It was just okay, Again, more Dirty Pair is always a good thing, but this too, I feel like it was heavy on fan service, and they introduced this new male character who kind of stole the show in a lot of ways, and I just wanted to see Kay and Yuri do their thing. There were a few parts of the movie where I wasn't sold on it. I didn't like the direction they took, but it definitely had its moments. They're going up against these alien creatures, definitely felt reminiscent of the Alien movies or something like that you would see at the time. So that was pretty cool, seeing them fight a bunch of aliens rather than humans. You got your other 2 OVA specials. The first one, it came out around the same time as the original series. It was called The Affair of Nolandia. To be honest, this was the low point of the series for me. I didn't enjoy it all that much. It looked different for some reason. The animation just looks off. It looks more realistic and less kind of charming in a way. It has a much darker story, much darker tone. I didn't care for it all that much. They're investigating this girl who has psychic powers, and so it's an interesting story. It's just more dark and serious, and the animation looked off to me. It didn't have the same kind of fun vibes and the same charm as the rest of the series. Finally, in 1990, they released the final OVA special, which was another hour-long movie, The Flight 005 Conspiracy. And I actually liked this one quite well. I think the animation was much improved over the earlier 80s stuff we had seen. It had all that charm of the original coming back way better than the Affair of Nolandia. This one had a good story, Although I feel like it had some similar themes to one of the episodes, but still very different. This one just felt bigger. They were in space a lot and going up against this big organization, solving this mystery, and they introduce a bunch of characters, but they didn't overshine our heroines, you know? They didn't take the spotlight or take that much screen time compared to the guy in Project Eden. This movie has a lot of fun moments, a lot of exciting moments, and some pretty heavy emotional moments as well. It had a little bit of everything, but the animation is great, and it felt like Dirty Pair again. It was very fun, and I liked it quite well. And that's about as much as we've gotten for the original Dirty Pair. Later on in the 90s, they made another series called Dirty Pair Flash, which was different to say the least. They couldn't get the original voice actors back, and they didn't want to replace them, so they thought, hey, you know what, we're going to make a different version of the Dirty Pair. We're going to have a younger version. It's kind of a prequel, but at the same time, we're going to change things around. It's going to be an alternate universe, different setting, different versions of these characters. So they're younger, and they look different, and for me, it was just a little bit hard to watch, and I didn't get very far through it. I just watched a little bit, and I was kind of done with it. Not a fan of the changes they made. Again, heavy fan service, and these are younger, like teenage characters, and it was all very off-putting to me. Not only that, but the characters were just dumbed down, I feel like, and a little annoying, really whiny and annoying, and I couldn't do it. I'm sorry to offend any fans out there, but it wasn't for me. Maybe I didn't give it a fair shot, maybe it gets better, maybe it would grow on me, but I'm not there yet. So for what it's worth though, I really liked the original series. I liked some of the OVAs, but I feel like overall none of it could top the original series. None of it could quite match it. I think the flight of 005 came very close. But really that original series is where it's at. It was so full of heart, and it was just a lot of fun. It was very creative, and it was great. A classic. I see why it's such a beloved classic today, and the series is still going on strong in other mediums too. It started out as a light novel series, and I think the last light novel came out in like 2018 or something. We might get more of those. There have been manga spin-offs, even American comic adaptations. It's crazy. There's a bunch of stuff, so maybe we'll get more Dirty Pair in the future. You know, maybe it's been long enough that maybe we'll see a reboot of the anime with new voice actors, but I hope it does justice to the original this time and maintains the same kind of integrity to the characters and gives us more of what made the original so special. At the same time, it's such a classic, maybe it doesn't need to be touched at all. So if you want to watch Dirty Pair, you can watch all of it on YouTube for free. Nozomi Entertainment has the rights to the series and the OVAs, and they have posted everything on YouTube for free, so I'll put a link down to their channel below. If you want to watch some Dirty Pair, watch the whole thing, go for it. You can also see the first series on, I think it's on Crunchyroll right now, and Retrocrush, and yeah, you can see it a bunch of places, but yeah, I'll put the link to Nozomi down below. Very cool that they're sharing so much of their library for free on YouTube. My hat's off to them, and my thanks to them, because they made it really easy to access this classic anime, and I enjoyed it. I'm glad to have finally watched it. And no, it's not what I thought. It has its moments, but no, it's mostly pretty wholesome. Watch the first series if you haven't. Check it out. It's a classic. It's a good one. So, anyways, that's all I got for today. Let me know your thoughts. Have you seen Dirty Pair? Are you a fan? Am I missing out on Flash? What did I get wrong? You can tell me everything down in the comments. I appreciate you for watching today. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care.